Welcome
No.
to the Inside Name Podcast. How's everyone doing today? I am here joined by one Mr. Duke Noops.
Yeet.
One Mr. Jackson.
One.
And one Mr. Jonate.
Hello.
Janate or Janet? Janice?
Jonate.
I'm gonna call him Janice from now on.
Genesis.
Fuck off, you want.
Oh well, Janice.
Right, so how's everyone doing on this fine evening?
I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, we all just woke up.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Janice is very tired.
Jonas.
Jonas, oh my god, he's a Jonas brother.
Yes. Are you? Is this confirmed? You're Joe Jonas from the popular
Joe Jonas.
popular boy band Jonas Brothers.
Ooh.
No, it's a ghost.
He didn't deny it or confirm it.
So we take that as a confirmation. If he didn't deny or confirm, we take it as a confirmation. He is a Jonas brother.
He's a Jonas brother. Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
Confirmed.
100% confirmed. Right.
Yes.
Right. So we've been thinking about this for about a week now. I'm hoping a lot of you have the conversation to talk about.
Fuck all.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, quite a bit. Oh, quite a bit.
Oh, he's got quite a bit.
So
That's
Joe-
good.
Strap in,
good.
boys. Strap in.
Ooh, okay.
Strap in, boys. More fucking seatbelts on, lads.
I've got a little section that.
I don't think you have seatbelts on the children buses, Jackson.
You. Why? Like here and all. Like no.
Here and all, man.
Like fuck off, you fucking prick.
Alright.
Oh wait, shit. Excuse me. Are we allowed to?
I mean, not really,
Like-
but.
Darn it!
Alright.
God darn it!
It's not the most child-friendly program.
Fuck off.
Yes. No. It's okay. Janice goes again. Janice.
Janus.
Tennis?
Tennis.
Janice.
Child friendly, fuck off somewhere else.
What?
Brexit means Brexit, what?
What?
All I heard was Dan say fuck off somewhere else.
If you want child friendly, fuck off somewhere else.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about Brexit.
Yeah.
I was going, Jesus.
So, now, is this the time to talk about it? Now the vaccines are all coming out?
Anyway,
Anyway,
carrying on.
right then.
Getting off topic.
Joe, since you've got so much to talk about, why don't you kick us off with one of your many topics?
I've only got a handful, but it's most than anyone here has, so
Probably, yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
The big man.
Alright. So, first topic is Ben Askren versus Jake Paul.
Yeah.
It's happening tonight, I think 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to know what you think of the event, as in.
I saw like some of the reactions from what, like when they've had some interviews and how Jake Paul's been like very I guess in my eyes a bitch about the whole situation. I don't know.
Did you hear say he said recently? He said he's showing early signs of brain damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he apologised. He apologised, didn't he?
I can't remember if he apologised or not, but I thought
I
he
think he
always
put it
had
on an Instagram post.
I thought he always had brain damage.
It would make sense.
So yeah, the fight. Who's gonna win?
I think Ben how do you pronounce his surname? Askren. Askren.
Yeah, Askren.
I think Ben Askren will.
And your prediction?
Huh?
What's your prediction for the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight?
I'm just looking forward to seeing Jake Paul get the shit kicked out of him, to be honest.
So we'll take it you're on Ben's side.
Oh, anyone who can wipe out that surly prick is on my boat.
Okay, so
I think we're all on Ben's side. I've even put a £5 bet down, just a little one.
Way! Put 50.
Oh,
I only put
is
the bet down.
Wait, is this gonna in between us? Is it? Oh, we're gonna actually go bet on
Anyway,
this.
no, I saw you put £50 down, so I'll put a little £5 bet down. Why not?
YOLO.
Get-
YOLO.
I can
YOLO.
get £12 back if I get it.
Alright, this is. we got to break this. Well, we won't break down, but we're going to talk about this real quick. So, Ben Askren,
Yeah.
Olympic wrestler, mixed martial artist, wasn't known for his striking, but he was very good at wrestling.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can, if you spend enough time learning, obviously, if he's done martial arts and all that sort of stuff, he can then obviously train. He's obviously used to the training, so if he's got someone who would teach him, he'd just say strike properly, this and that, it'll probably pick it up quite quickly and then be able to, you know.
He does have a very good boxing coach. I can't remember the name right now. Quick Google.
I'll search it up for you. You keep talking.
So I think he's got. He was in a couple of companies like I'm not sure if they were MMA like fighting events or wrestling, but he's a very big athlete.
Yeah.
And he is very good at getting punched in the face and not getting knocked out.
Yeah, he's used to it.
Yeah, I mean, he did get KO'd in 4 seconds, but that's nothing to do with it. It was a very good knee that George Masvidal landed.
You got fucking knocked out in 4 seconds.
Ben Askren got knocked out in 4 seconds, so he fought someone called George Masvidal, who's actually like with Jake Paul on this. So the fight starts, and as soon as Ben Askren gets close to him, he shoots for a takedown because he's a wrestler, and George Masvidal goes from his side of the cage, running up to Ben Askren like straight forward, and jumps with a flying knee, lands it on Ben, and knocks him out.
I remember that. I remember you showed me that fight.
Yeah, and that one that the other geezer tried doing, but it was terrible.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah, he's just saying he's obviously going to look back and go, like, it's boxing. I've learned, don't always go in head first. And obviously, his coach is probably sitting there saying, "All right, Jake is a bleeder. He does get tired quite quickly." So I'm assuming that they might try and play off the long game and then throw it all in the end. That's what I'm assuming Ben's game is, because.
Has Jake ever been to the later rounds?
I think he got quite close to the last rounds of him versus Deji.
Yeah.
Obviously, the ref called it early because Deji couldn't defend himself, basically, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, obviously, the Gibb fight as well didn't go well for Gibb.
Yeah, a little crab technique didn't work, to be honest.
Holy shit.
What?
Fucking Askren's pretty fucking talented.
Yeah.
What, have you looked at his resume?
He's in the Olympics. He had a post-Olympic. He had 2008 Olympics.
I did say he was an Olympic wrestler.
Well, that makes sense. I was in another. I was basically Alright. No man.
Okay.
He fought Robbie Lawler in the UFC, who is like fucking vicious. He scary Donny, like absolutely
Scary Donny.
The big man.
And he did get rocked, but he still managed to stay conscious. And then in UFC, obviously, you're getting punched on the ground. With boxing, if that happens, you get counted, then you get back up.
Yeah, you get like a quick breather.
So with this, obviously, he's not going to keep getting smashed in the face with MMA gloves, may I add.
Yeah.
So
that's what I feel like he's got somewhat of an
edge.
Yeah, an advantage based on his past compared to Jake.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's had 2 or 3 matches, and only like 1 of them or 2 of them have been professional.
Yeah.
So this guy obviously he knows what it's like to be punched in the face. Obviously, he's fought guys bigger than him. Jake is used to people probably around his same, obviously weight wise, or a little bit bigger. And Jake's only kind of fought people who are not really professionals, to say.
I think that's fair.
So I reckon Ben might. He's going to surprise us, I reckon. Somebody's going to surprise us in the end. And I reckon, obviously, Jake does stand a good chance because, he's been boxing for ages, but obviously, fuck that guy. Really, that's all I can say.
Jackson, did you find out who his trainer was?
No, I couldn't find it. I don't.
Okay,
Terrible.
well, good thing I've done it for you.
Thanks, man.
So here is a list of people he's trained: Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson,
Oh shit.
Amir Khan. Who else? He's got a lot of people under his name, honestly. But
So
most of these names I can't pronounce.
a lot of champions, basically.
Mickey Rourke.
I've heard of that
That is-
name. Yeah, so
He's got some names underneath his belt.
yeah, he's got the back staff advantage as well.
Mm.
Obviously, Jake probably got one of these American coaches that pick up people like Jake. Obviously,
Just for a quick buck.
not just for a quick buck, but obviously probably can turn them around, that sort of stuff, that they know how to do it. But obviously, when you've got someone like who Ben's got, he's got fucking people who's trained Mike Tyson, and obviously we all know Mike Tyson. We all know who Mike Tyson is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that guy was
He's-
Man,
Mike Tyson's ruthless.
legend.
yeah. God, yeah. If Ben, if Ben learns a thing or two, he might, learn and show us.
I mean, I'm really fucking hoping he wins because I've bet 50 quid on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he wins, I get back
Yeah.
125, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 125 use. Yeah.
So here's hoping.
Yeah. Shout out to Ben. Hope you do well.
Shout out Ben Funky Aspen.
Big up, Ben.
Jake,
Please flatten Jake Paul.
I hope you get knocked out and quit your career as a boxer and YouTuber because
Quite frankly, you're shit at both.
oh wait, basically, yeah. Absolutely dreadful. Excuse me, sir. You at the back?
I said we need. Oh, for fuck's sake!
God.
We need good news in 2021.
Yeah, Ben.
Right.
Win for the
Yeah,
people.
this is kind of why I didn't want to fucking do a podcast. It's just awkward silence whenever I say anything.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You kind of go and then come back.
Fair enough.
That's certainly a reason. Yeah, Ben, do it for the people. We love you. We don't, but
I do.
we will.
Okay.
We will.
If
you
he
want us money.
flattens Jake Paul,
You're
I will. Huh?
Go on.
If he flattens Jake Paul, then I'd suck Ben Askren off.
Oh,
Oh.
well.
We need to get this message to Ben Askren.
Everyone tag Ben Askren right now.
Everyone.
If Ben Askren can flatten Jake Paul,
Can. So you're not even sure he can.
when Ben Askren knocks out Jake Paul, flatlines him,
Confidence.
Alright.
I'll then become an Olympic wrestler like Ben Askren did.
So you would become an Olympic wrestler.
Yes.
I'd like to
You would
see
do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You'd do that, would you?
Yeah, if Ben Askren flattens him.
If he flattens him, that's
When he flattens him. When he flattens him.
So we're going to see the next big Olympic wrestler coming up soon, yeah?
So I remember it.
What, Paralympics? Paralympics or normal Olympics?
Well, no, Paralympics, so then I can just fucking get the edge.
So you can just bully people. People like no legs or anything, you just yada.
Bloody little Sally on the swing, fuck it.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Go on.
next, we all said what we've said about
So we're all
Yeah.
so we're all on Ben's side basically. This
that.
is
We're on Ben's side. We're on
we're
Ben's
on
side.
Ben's side. That's good to hear. Alright.
Alright,
Jackson,
I'll go on, Jackson.
you got
Uh-oh.
any stories or things in the news that you recently want to talk about?
In the news, not really. Well, there's some COVID stuff, but I don't know. You want to talk about COVID?
Yeah, let's talk
Well, about
Let's talk about COVID. This is the type of place we talk about.
COVID bangs.
yeah. It's about time.
COVID bangs.
Basically, I think it's next month here in Mallorca. At least I don't know if it's Mallorca or Spain, but I know that they're releasing the what you call it, the
Vaccine.
No, the vaccine's already out, isn't it? They're lifting they're lifting the fucking
Restrictions.
There you go, that's the one. I can't figure out the word.
They're doing it over here as well now.
Oh mate, we're going to go into another lockdown, I bet.
Oh, probably. They've started. I mean, Primark alone.
Oh my! Wait, have you seen the queues?
I did see like some things about the queues, but what was it like? People actually camped out there and everything.
Yeah.
Outside of Primark.
I was at Lakeside last night.
Outside of Primark.
There was so many people in the food court. It was packed.
Mate, honestly, do you know what?
Wait, have they lifted restrictions there? Or what? What's going on?
Over here, they've they've lifted like certain restrictions, like certain shops can open again, outside of like pubs and restaurants can open, and obviously people have now read, oh, this means we can go out now, and obviously everyone's now flocking out, going shopping, doing the stuff that they shouldn't be doing, but are.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah. So a lot more Primark was basically this big controversial thing because obviously all these people want their £1 thongs.
Yeah.
Want to, spend hours camping outside waiting for it. It's like, I'm sorry, is it really that big of a deal?
To them, yes, I believe so.
Like
The same with the thing is that when lockdown started, it was like, fucking hell, can't you stay indoors for like a couple of days? Well, it turned out to be a bit more than just a couple of days, but I mean, still, I don't know how people got crazy. They couldn't just don't you have a garden? It's not the same. Well, technically, it really is.
Yeah, people need to go outside to interact instead of staying at home and doing what we're doing.
They can't interact with their family, so they have to interact with other people.
Yeah, they need to go outside and talk to like random people they've never met before because they've done that before lockdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, obviously, restrictions are being lifted basically in most places.
I mean, I think we've still got curfew over here till even after they lift the restrictions of the masks and stuff.
Oh yeah, we definitely still got a lot of COVID over here. Right. Obviously, results of what?
Go on.
Like the whole, where they're like, oh, this many people have COVID at the moment or dying of COVID. Obviously, the numbers are dropping now since they've done lockdown, which makes them feel like, oh, because the vaccine's working. It's like, well, you were giving it to like 8-year-olds, and then you complain that it's like the younger the younger people who are spreading it. It's like, I understand, obviously, you want to protect the old people and fragile, but they're not spreading it. They're stuck in homes. And
kids are messy, bro. Kids aren't clean.
Kids don't give a shit. Like 2 F's about hygiene, and obviously, parents sometimes don't look after their kids.
Well, most of the time, really.
Yeah, obviously, sometimes not their fault. Sometimes it is. But yeah, it's a weird thing what they've done with the vaccine situation, starting from oldest to youngest, which I don't know. Obviously, the whole blood clot thing come out as well.
What blood clot thing? What happened there?
Oh, basically the vaccine that they were spreading out. If it's like 1 in like 1,000,000, we're getting like this blood clot.
Oh wow. And of course they focused on that.
And they stopped it actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they've stopped handing out the vaccine.
It's kind of stupid.
Which obviously is like, yeah, this is good, but that's the vaccine. Like, there's like
there's 1 in 1,000,000.
I think there's like 60, like just under 60 million people, or just over 60 million people in the UK. Let me Google. UK population 2021. 68 million, right?
6 million.
68 million people in the UK. Now, if you think about that, just 68 people is gonna get the blood clot thing.
What, in the entire UK?
Yeah, so it's 1 in 1,000,000, and there's 68 million people in the UK. I'm pretty sure. I don't know
We
about
can-
you, but our medical staff could handle 68 people with blood clots.
I don't know, mate. They can't even fucking call me to reception when I've clocked in.
That's true.
Fucking sitting there for half an hour. Fuck me, my appointment was like 2 hours ago. What's going on?
Yeah, but obviously they sit there and they'll. With obviously they want like media coverage and all that sort to be a good thing. Obviously, if they handle that sort of vaccine problem.
In all honesty, big up the NHS.
Oh yeah, they've gone through a lot of shit this like year or two, and with like what was it, a 1% pay rise,
Yeah, that's fucked.
which is obviously, and then I think the government itself got like a 10% pay rise or something, which is a bang out of order. Big up Boris. Yeah, so shout out to the NHS. Shout out to scientists who created a vaccine. I don't care if it gives me a blood clot. You've just saved 68 million people or more. Just for
Well,
for
didn't save the people with blood clots, did they?
well, no, because they're not. I don't think they're dying of blood clots. They're just getting blood clots. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you can treat.
You don't know how
blood
severe
clot.
it is.
Yeah, you don't. I can't remember how severe. I don't think it was severe, but
Yeah.
obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but a blood clot isn't always going to be fatal.
I'd rather have a blood clot than corona.
Yeah, because corona makes you not breathe, not taste, not smell, could kill you, can be spreaded, and a blood clot is just to you. And you're safe from COVID.
You're not safe. You prevented it.
Pardon?
You're not safe from COVID. You're more like unlikely to get it. I guess you're like more safe, but
Yeah, it's like obviously if everyone had a vaccine, it's like the chance of spreading it is just like
0 to none. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've completely increased the chance of just not spreading it. Obviously, if wearing a mask is like a mandatory thing in the future that everyone just does or wants to do, obviously then that becomes a lot less spreadable. Yeah, so
Sorry, 1 second. Someone at my door.
so restrictions are over here. I think they end next month. I think the 20-something, 21st or something. I can't remember the date. But just after Boris's birthday, or just before, I can't remember. And they've started releasing. What was it? They've stopped certain things, obviously like food going inside stores, that sort of thing. Certain places are still doing that. But I'm talking to myself.
I'm just listening.
Thank you, Daniel. I just realised you have to mute it. But yeah, no. COVID is not fun. That's what I can say.
Sorry.
Restrictions are going to be a hit or miss.
Oh, it sucks, bro.
It's going to be one of those things that we know we shouldn't be doing now, but obviously there's not much we can do, and obviously the people who want to go out are going to go out.
At the end of the day, some people for example, when the restrictions first started kicking in, does anyone remember in America there was these protests because people wanted haircuts and other stupid things like that? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I've always said, I want people to remember that when the world needed compassion, unity, and more importantly, actual intelligence to work through this thing that could turn into a deadlier pandemic, if left just to go run amok. People said no because they wanted haircuts, and I just want people to remember that.
Oh yeah, they also said no because they just wanted to go to the park. It's it's just obviously the world. Everyone's like, oh guys, we're in this together, but everyone was completely a lot of people were completely selfish about it, or because they wanted a haircut or just to fucking say hello to their next door neighbour. And then
Some people even throw parties. I've
Yeah.
seen,
obviously because they thought it was a fun, cool thing to do.
which is frankly disgusting. I've seen it. It's just a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, a lot around even our areas.
Yeah,
What was it, the one in the church?
yeah. The one down the road from me. Didn't know who it was for it, but still prick move.
Oh yeah.
I do. I've always found it funny. Like everyone was really upset about the pandemic restricting people from going out when introverts like myself were like just laughing while snuggling on our fucking sofas.
Oh yeah. Obviously, a lot of people. There was the thing as well. Obviously, I'm working, and I think I started in the February, and obviously the lockdown started in March. So when they done the first March lockdown, I was off for the month. Which, when they asked, I'm not going to say my job, like where I work, because I could get them in trouble, but they did call people into work, even though legally they shouldn't be working, and were telling the government that, no one's working. We'll take the government scheme and taking money and paying our staff. Yeah, so people like, obviously, us were quite happy to sit at home and do nothing and play games or watch TV. And obviously then there are the extroverts that call themselves, the knobs, who wanted to just go out and
Fuck it up for everyone.
yeah. And then obviously when they went, oh, we're going to, stop the lockdown. Oh, but the cases are rising again because everyone, didn't listen in the first place. Wondered why it happened just before Christmas.
The hilarious irony of it. Many people complained when lockdown, curfew, and other restrictions like that came in, but then got really upset when no one followed those rules, and we had to have another lockdown, curfew, and etc.
Yeah, it's just it's just they do it to themselves. People like that, and they wonder why it happens because they're the reason, but can't see it. Oh, COVID is a fun subject to talk about, isn't it?
I mean, myself, I've always been fascinated with things like biology, virology, and well, like how viruses work. Like that's just something I've been interested in the science point of view, and like it's actually been quite interesting seeing how it works and how people have reacted to it. It's like wasn't it true that America had ideas on how to cope with a full-on virus outbreak and such? Does anyone?
I think there was. Yeah, they basically had like a list of the countries who were best suited, could handle it worldly, or the worst.
That's yeah.
And yeah.
America was near the top of that list, was it not?
Yeah, I think like places like the UK. I think it was basically most European countries, America, Canada, and I think that was about it. Also, they were supposedly the best suited to handle the pandemic.
I bet the people that wrote that were laughing to themselves when they realised that places like America were the absolute worst.
Yeah, they wrote it thinking, yes, us civilized Westerners are far superior than the likes of the Chinese, who definitely wouldn't lock down everyone at, military style, make sure they can't spread the disease. So obviously America. I think America was the worst for it, weren't they?
Yeah, the worst.
The worst.
I think how many? Do you roughly remember how many cases they've had?
Let me check.
So no, they just flew up at
They skyrocketed.
the sky during the base of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
The cases 31.6 million and 566.
Jesus.
My God.
With
I thought it was like a million.
California looking to be on the top of the number list.
It doesn't help that America also likes to throw birthday surprises and set a forest on fire.
Yeah.
America is a weird place. I've never got it. They're technically not even classed as civilized,
Third world country with a Gucci belt.
basically.
I won't go into like all of what I'm thinking because like I don't want to cause a complete political uproar. But it's ironic. I've always found it completely hilarious how America's been called the land of the free when in like current times that saying that is laughable.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, and then they oppress everyone that isn't American.
Exactly. Like freedom for the whites. That's what they. That's more in the fine print of it.
Yeah, it's funny because even just looking at their history, this is one of the things they followed. But obviously, history knows that America is one of the most racist countries on earth,
Yeah.
and still is. Yeah, America's a very hypocritical country.
Oh, absolutely.
And obviously,
And the free that you get put in debt if you get in a car crash.
yeah. The land.
Or
Yeah.
being hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, even if you get bitten by a snake. A while ago, I saw something online, but someone got bitten by a rattlesnake. The anti-venom wasn't even the most expensive thing. The ambulance was one of the most expensive things.
The ambulance. Oh yeah.
It was all the care that they took.
I'm gonna quickly Google the price of ambulance ride.
What? Might as well add emergency.
And you guys are gonna guess the what's this then?
I think Dan would get the closest. I don't know. Dan, what do you think the ambulance ride is?
Well, because I have a computer in front of me, I've already googled it.
No, I was gonna say guess.
No, let the others guess. You're gonna love this because just looking at the number is making me sweat.
Is it like 20k?
Yes,
Around 20 grand.
that's extremely close. 21,700 after the insurance pays out.
So just to get a lift from dying to the hospital to save your
Pay
life,
21 grand.
you have to pay 21 grand
Yeah.
just to be able to get there
To even
Yep.
for a man to go.
in time.
Is he dead? Is he not? Yes, no.
No.
Get him in the back of the van.
On Google on the people also ask bit where you can see other results like it says here quite literally call 911 for an ambulance and you're likely to have another heart attack when you get the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably pay you probably get a fucking heart attack. They pick you up, take you away, and then you're like, fucking thank God I got saved. There's your bill, by the way. Falls to the ground.
Could you imagine, right? You get hit by an ambulance
Oh God.
and then have to be taken in the ambulance and paid 21 grand after
You
that
are paying
ambulance.
21 grand to the person that put you in that position.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's capitalism, baby.
Oh yeah.
Capitalism in question. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I've never got America's healthcare system. Obviously, they sit there and boast about, oh, we've got some of the best doctors and all this. It's like, but yeah, a lot of like European. I think Spain has like some of the best transplant. I can't remember what they transplant. I think it's like liver or something like that. Spain has like the best doctors for that, and doctors in America will recommend people fly over just to do that.
That's insane.
Like,
Right. It's like having the country behind a paywall.
yeah, it's like imagine trying to convince everyone. Oh, by the way, we make you pay all this money here because we're good doctors, but if you wanted just someone that's probably good or better, go to another country that doesn't cost shit.
USA.
It's astonishing. I mean, obviously, you think about how many people live there and how much money they can make from it. Yeah. So, is our COVID chat done?
Probably. I don't know.
Anyone,
Got anything else to say?
anyone need to add anything?
It started with COVID and then decided bashing America's healthcare system.
That's how every conversation
That's the
should
way
end.
it should be.
Yeah, it's how every conversation should end. Everyone hating it.
Battling America's healthcare.
Yeah.
Healthcare system, that'd be fun.
Alright,
Jesus.
Daniel,
Yes.
anything you want to talk about?
We've just been talking about healthcare. Like, let's move away from something that someone might get pissed at, because there's always going to be someone that is going to get upset because someone criticized their precious America.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Shoot us?
Careful, they might.
Well, seeing how
They'll shoot their school before they come for us, bruv.
Oh my God, speaking of that, have you seen how many they've done this month?
No.
What do you mean
So-
this month?
How many
More
mass
than
what we do in a year.
how many mass shootings have been counted this month? In a month?
This month alone. It's the
Are you serious?
17th of April.
I think it was 147
Jesus Christ.
mass shootings.
I was going to say like 12.
Nah, especially lately, they've gone mental over there.
Jesus.
The last one was yesterday, I think, was against they killed 8 people in FedEx.
Jesus.
Like
I
yesterday.
remember Richmond when we got home. And you know the worst part, like us as a world, not just Americans, but like us as like on this planet, we've become desensitized to mass violence. Like, I can't believe that we've reached a stage where we go online, we go through something like Twitter or the Daily Mail or any other news, something where you can spot news,
Yeah.
and we see that there's a mass shooting, and that we just roll our eyes because, oh, another one.
Yeah, we roll our eyes and go, oh, that's just America.
Yeah, like, I can't believe that's now the thought process when, like, well, as a whole, like, people have lost their lives. Lives have been ruined. Families lost loved ones. And like the rest of the world, we're just like, oh, here we go again, like, and just another. And
Yeah.
that's fucking unbelievable. That how like America is so fucking bad that we've become desensitized to murder.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just need.
No,
Tangent on that one.
that's just a fair point. Yeah, it's one of those situations. Obviously, things like what happened. Was it Beirut, where the explosion happened? Obviously, things like that. That's shocking. You don't hear about a whole city exploding. But obviously, the same amount of people could be shot in America in a year, and no one gives two eyelids. Like, it's a weird system like the world has. Like, obviously, it gets engraved in our minds that that's the norm. But obviously, certain people, like, some of us in the room, I say in the room, in the chat, but in the room, we do, we have to take a step back and go, oh my God, we're actually, witnessing thousands of people dead. And that's the thing as well. A lot of places, like China as well, we don't even hear anything about what's going over there. But they're killing all the Muslims and all that, aren't they?
Yeah.
What, really? Really? Jesus.
Yeah, so you didn't even know. Yeah. And
No, I didn't.
and the problem with that is because it's China and China buys a lot of European American stuff, like the rights, like TV rights and all that. So whenever like someone said like it's happened in football recently, a player from Arsenal who's now playing in Turkey, he's Muslim and he called China out. But because he was like, hey, China, this is wrong, this isn't against the Muslims, he went, guys, back me up to the football club. No one backed him up. And he physically got basically pushed out of the club and moved, and they basically had to be transferred to another club in Turkey. All because,
Jesus.
you know, all because money talks.
Yeah.
The player himself, he was a fantastic player. He was one of our best in recent years. And he's literally one of the players that you look back and go, he's probably the best player you've seen in the league in like the last 10 years, and probably in his prime still is. But obviously money talks, and China pays. That was like the case with do you remember the League of Legends thing they had with Blizzard?
Oh, is this
What?
the Free Hong Kong thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Obviously, because China is China.
The someone like during a live stream, I think it was a competition.
Yeah.
Also happened with Overwatch. Someone like took a moment to just like really just spread the word, like, because in China there's very like oppressive elements.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an understatement. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And the moment that happened, the corporations like I don't remember who does League of Legends.
It's Blizzard.
Pardon?
It's Blizzard.
Yeah. Like Blizzard especially does Overwatch. They immediately censored him and even restricted him from accessing his prize money for winning the
Tournament.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of censorship and then flat out robbery of something that was owed, like, it's ridiculous.
Robbery at the end of the day. You've played and you've won at the end of the day. You competed against other players, and then just for saying the wrong thing that the company or the whole system didn't like, you get no money, no reward, no fucking anything.
Get made to look like the bad guy.
Yeah, and you look like the bad guy, and you could have like probably, well, he could have probably tried to what's it called? I've lost my chain of thought here. Yeah, I better send it back to you then. Sorry.
I think it happened in alright, hang on, I've got the thing here. On October 9th, at the end of a Hearthstone Poligate Champs match following Blizzard's ban, players of the losing team, American University, held a sign-up to Free Hong Kong. Blitzchung, that's the dude who got banned. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because obviously the UK handed back Hong Kong to China, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
1999 or something like that. 2000. I can't remember the year.
October 6th, 2019. It's amazing how quickly this blew over, actually.
Yeah.
Like, he donned a mask similar to those worn by the protesters during the Hong Kong protests, and said, "Liberate Hong Kong, the revolution of our times." And the stream was almost immediately cut off. And the following day, on the following day, Blizzard announced that Blitzchung had been banned from the current tournament, would forfeit any prize money, approximately $4,000 US, and would be banned from the other Grandmaster tournaments for a year. I mean, a year, fucking hell. Like,
that's the thing. That's his profession as well.
Yeah, that's something that he earns quite a lot with. I mean, he had to forfeit for. I don't remember.
Basically lives off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lives off it.
And ironically enough, a little while later, Blizzard announced that they would respect their players' freedom of speech. But I mean, we haven't heard anything about that, have we?
Obviously not. I think the most they've done was basically they gave him his thingy back, like his rights to play again, and then the whole thing kind of blew over, didn't it? No one ever spoke about it again. Which is
I'm just reading the Wikipedia page. In kind of like response to that fucking bullshit that happened, people began to post fan art of Blizzard's Overwatch character Mei, a Chinese native, as a sign to support Blitzchung as well as the Free Hong Kong movement.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the whole Hong Kong situation. Do you know about the Hong Kong situation?
I don't know.
Jackson? Dan? Do you know about it?
No, I don't. I'm
Yeah.
not really knowledgeable.
So a simple way to put it is the UK basically had a war with China years and years ago. I think it was like 100 years ago.
What, had a war?
Yeah.
Had part?
Basically, the UK went, trade with us. China said no. UK said tough. Went to war. Oh no, I think it was because of the Opium War. Basically, China basically stopped all trade out of China.
Mm.
The UK via India decided to give everyone in China drugs, opium, and then China realised UK was doing this, didn't like it, told them to stop. UK said no. War. UK won. The UK then said we won this small island area called Hong Kong, and China said sure. The guy who signed the declaration said, "Oh, this is alright. This would basically mean, we'll have this basically forever. This is what this declaration means." Basically, fast forward until 100 years later, UK gave it back as agreed. But obviously, Hong Kong had come to this point where it was a European-styled Asian country, and it was a small area, but it was rich enough to sustain its own economy, this sort of stuff, and it had its own identity and all this sort of stuff.
May I interrupt you for 1 second?
I guess.
One thing protesters and other people did to completely take the piss out of Chairman Mao.
The Winnie the Pooh.
Yep, the Winnie the Pooh memes, and I am currently looking at the images now, and they are the funniest shit.
Yeah.
Although, like China's usual reaction to things that upset at least someone in high power, they completely ban it. Like in the Kingdom Hearts 3 game, Winnie the Pooh makes an appearance in one of the worlds that you can go to in the game, and he appears as just a white blob.
Mad. I didn't know that.
And I have an image here.
A
White blob.
Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah, give me-
white blob.
I'm just.
Right, well, Dan does that. I will quickly finish the story. Oh my god, is that it? Is that what you could... They didn't even try.
Let's see.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's mad.
So yeah,
That's jokes.
with the Hong Kong situation, yeah, so obviously they've got their own identity, their own economy, they do it in their own certain way that the UK had basically... Who just left? Daniel.
Daniel, Daniel's back.
Yeah, so the UK had basically engraved up their own basically way of life into it, and they
Shit.
and then obviously China got it back, and China basically wanted to force their Chinese ways onto Hong Kong, but Hong Kong wanted independence because they had been living this way basically for years anyway. But what China was doing is basically forcing militarized opposition into the area and basically trying to kick out everything that was Hong Kongian. I don't know what the term would be.
Hong Kong.
I don't know what the terminology would be, but yeah, so basically they went, you're Chinese, you do it the Chinese way. And yeah, so they basically, people in Hong Kong started protesting. Obviously China was militarizing, that sort of stuff, like as they usually do. And yeah, so to be honest, I've not even heard anything since then. And that's the that's the sad part. Obviously no one talks about it. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't know about it until you told me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Hong Kong was a nice place until China took over, basically.
It was. Damn.
Because I think, well, I mean, Hong Kong probably still is a nice place, but obviously now it's more forcefully Chinese influenced, to say.
Forcefully, huh?
Yeah, as in, yeah, because I think Hong Kong had its own currency as well. But obviously, China said, you're doing it this way, this is our currency, using that now. Big up China. Anyway, what was the original point we were talking about?
Censorship. Well, political censorship, wasn't it?
I think so. So yeah, we nailed it on the head, basically.
I think we should go back to screwing America.
Well, I mean, China, America, they're basically the same thing, different continents.
Oh.
But yeah, China recently become the richest country in the world as well recently.
Really?
I think so. And
which one?
China. I think China economically overtook America recently.
I would have expected. Doesn't everything literally come from China as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember I read like a news article and someone commented saying, "Well, we should just stop all trade deals with China." And then someone was like, like everything is made in China, right? And it said the main source of money. So the country would literally be bankrupt just really quickly.
Well, not only that, like I would have suspected that they would have been, the richest right about now.
Oh, well, that's the thing. You think about World War II period wise, China wasn't even unified, and they were still using guns from like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And when I say early, I mean like World War One guns.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they didn't have like tanks or that sort of thing. And obviously, they also had communism.
That as well.
And basically the last 60 years, they economically boomed because they got their shit together. Fair play to them. Yeah, you can't miss that. They looked after themselves, whilst nearly destroying other countries around them, or physically doing it. So yeah, right.
Anyone want to move on to things like movies or video games?
I agree.
We can talk about movies.
Let's talk about.
We had a topic earlier on what's it called? On Godzilla. Like we said we should save because if not we'd lose our content.
Godzilla, Kong, as well as Justice League were the things that we were looking at.
What, Zack Snyder's?
Oh,
Yeah.
I recently started that. I did not know it was a 4-hour movie.
It is a 4-hour movie.
I honestly walked into that movie expecting to watch it in a quick hour or two, and me and my mates were listen.
Do you know is an hour?
Listen, will you?
What movie is an hour?
Can you just listen, will you?
We're listening.
Basically, we were like, fucking, what time is it? Shit, time to fucking go, because we're dead. And how long have we got on the movie? And I was like, probably not long. I fucking clicked on it, and it was part 3, and it was an hour in. Like, Jesus, fuck nuts.
Part 3.
Although I found it really interesting, although I would like to watch as well the grey version, the black and white one, which I think would be very cool.
Black and white one? What do you mean?
Yeah, they've got a grey version now on
They're
HBO.
just called
Black and white
Justice
version.
Grey.
Yeah, it's the same movie, but just in black and white.
I think
Grey.
some parts have colours in it, like something specific.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Just so you know what it is and stuff, whatnot.
But
Okay.
I mean, I'd watch it again.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I've already watched it twice.
I kind of want to watch it again. But obviously,
Still need
Good movie.
it's 4 hours long, and obviously, I don't really have 4 hours in a day.
Well, you have 24, so you got 20 spare.
No, I work, Joe. I work 10 hours a day.
Alright, then you got a couple more.
Yeah, plus got to sleep.
Alright, would you need what? 6 hours sleep? Simple.
I get home. I get home about 5 o'clock. I stream until like 7. Have dinner. And it's roughly about 9 o'clock I go to bed.
Watch a movie at 12? Or, I mean,
No,
until
he wakes up at like 5, 4,
Half.
4, 5.
Yeah. 4 hours skip, mate. I used to do that for college all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm,
one thing's for college, one thing's for fucking college, and you can fucking nap
yeah,
in
but
school.
you go to you go to college and you just go sleep in college. There's a difference. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
you
well.
can't really do.
I didn't
You
sleep in
fucking.
college.
I can't
idiot.
drive a forklift while sleeping. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
I can't. I really can't.
Mhm.
Someone's
So-
done that before, and then
Crashed.
no, he
Told me he crashed
had to like basically go sit down, wake up.
and crashed.
He didn't
When did I
crash.
ever fall
He
asleep
crashed a
in
different time
college?
though.
Oh,
Same guy, different crash. Well, different situation. What did you say, Joe?
When did I ever fall asleep in college?
No, I'm just saying if if you're ever that tired, I've done it.
I thought you said I did, and I was like, what? I haven't been doing that. Maybe I did.
Probably.
One time.
No one realised.
Anyways, Zack Snyder's Justice League, pretty good movie.
Pretty good.
yeah. I really like the different views, like from we don't really get to see at all in the first, or in the other one.
Just like
I'm
And I feel like they've buffed so much, so the enemies and stuff, and changed them. What's his name? Fucking
Steppenwolf.
yeah, Step. Oh, he fucking looks awesome. I think at least.
it looked quite goofy in the
He's just
but-
really humanised.
And Goofy in what the other one, Dan?
yeah, the other Justice League movie. Like he looked quite goofy, as well as, I mean, from my personal standpoint, he was quite a just like generic villain. Like he's just
Yeah.
another
Yeah,
villain.
did seem like that.
Film. But Darkseid, like in
Yeah,
the new
Dark Side. Oh, yeah.
in the Snyder Cut, is that the right word? Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Like Darkseid, fucking beautiful. Like I didn't know that. I mean, have any of you read the DC comics where Darkseid appears?
I haven't read them, but I've heard of them.
Well, with Darkseid in the comics, like design wise, I'm talking, not
Oh yeah, Rip
What?
from comics.
yeah. Like no, what? Give me a sec. Fucking hell.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say his design like looked usually quite goofy or generic. It's like in fact I've always found it amusing that Darkseid's got a part of his helmet which is a similar shape to Thanos's jawline. That's been something that I've found funny. But like they took that design and they actually made it quite compelling and had presence on the big screen, and I rather appreciate that.
Agreed.
But you know what? Alright, imagine this, right? It was Infinity War that came out first for the Avengers, wasn't it? And then it was Endgame.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League and Infinite
Oh, yeah.
War came out roughly at the same time, what one would you reckon would have got more praise?
If they released it with Zack's version originally.
Yeah, if both films were basically, if you got Zack Snyder's Justice League and Avengers Infinite War, both released like same year, a few months
Yeah.
apart or something maybe. What one do you reckon critics and fans would have been more gassed about?
Would you like to know my personal opinion on this?
Go for it.
With like Justice League, like so far the DC cinematic universe has been quite
Shit.
lax. I was going to say lax.
I would
Like
say
a-
shit.
I mean, some people might enjoy the films. I mean, personally, I didn't at all. But like, but like that, the cinematic universe so far for the DC have been completely like lacking in quality and sometimes even actual heart. But
Yeah.
with Marvel, we've had Marvel for how many years now?
10, maybe 11.
Quite a long time now.
Let me
I think it's
check.
been over 10 years.
Yeah, because technically the Incredible Hulk film was the beginning of it, weren't it?
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk about that. All right, let's say that the original film was 2008's Iron Man.
Just skip over. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the Hulk.
It's canon. It's canon.
It is, yeah, it is classed as the first movie.
Yeah, but let's just say that it.
For our sake, let's just throw it out the window.
Well, let's just say that the true origin, before they even knew they were going to do a franchise, was Iron Man.
Yeah.
2008. So we've had it for quite a while now.
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years of movies and movies and movies, and a lot of them, I would say about 80% of them, have been beloved by many. And with the first Avengers film, that was like the original cinematic crossover film for a lot of people in this generation. And I think that I think that because of that build up and then that movie that like brought on all of those characters from the movies we had been watching, that's what made the Avengers all the way up to Infinity War and Endgame such a worldwide success because of years of cultivation of the fandom.
The thing is, as well, they've done it in a kind of a smooth way. Like, they brought in. They could have just done what most films do, just throw in a bunch of famous characters and go, "Oh yeah, they're teaming up," and then never team them up ever again, or that sort of thing. Like, you know. But you
By the way, this guy is here. You remember this guy? He wasn't in any of the previous movies, but he's here now.
Yeah, it's like that.
But with the first Avengers, like those characters had been established, and that Avengers film was being built. Like that's what made it such a worldwide success.
Yeah, like
But
characters.
Yeah, carry on.
So like characters like Black Widow. Obviously, she appeared in Iron Man first.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, but as like a backup character, so it was like one of those things where, you know, you don't think anything about it, and then go, wait a minute, that's that character. They do play.
Actually, at first she was like actually in like the first portion of the film, she was a minor character, but then like we started seeing like if you look closely, you can actually see kind of hints that she had ulterior motives, as well as anyone who had already seen things online, like already knew that she was going to be Black Widow. But like, does anyone remember in Iron Man 2? I think Tony Stark and Rhodey are fighting in suits, and they crash through the ceiling. What's her face? Black Widow is being yelled at by Pepper Potts. Does anyone remember that scene?
I don't.
I roughly do, like very loosely.
Like when they crash through the roof, you can actually kind of see like how like what was originally known as Natalie to people like suddenly turned into like she went into a fighting stance. There's a channel on YouTube called Cinema Wins. He actually points this out.
Oh yeah.
Pepper Potts screams in fear because, well, two giant metal men just fucking fell for a roof. But Natasha Romanoff goes into like a combat stance. So on impulse.
Yeah.
So that's already like a small amount of build up and hinting towards like her true self.
Yeah. Yeah, the Marvel universe has handled it in a smart way. They've done like the small hints that obviously regular fans would notice, but then new fans or just random watchers that would eventually see all the later movies and go, oh yeah, that character, oh yeah, I should have noticed that before, and then we'll probably go back and watch the old ones to double check that sort of thing. Yeah, so they done that well with obviously that sort of stuff. I wish the DC would have done that with obviously all their characters.
Yeah.
Well, I wish they'd done like Man of Steel, obviously like the Aquaman movie, Wonder Woman movie, and then I wish they'd done like obviously like a Batman film that wasn't directly Batman versus Superman, because obviously there's a lot to answer with the Ben Affleck's Batman.
So many people were really pissed, at that film, and on first, some hyper fans that swear by that film, they think the hate is like unjustified, but sometimes we all have our own different perspectives and enjoyment thresholds for films. And personally for me, I've been an avid believer in the Batman does not kill rule. So when I saw Ben Affleck as Batman, which I've been waiting for quite a while, and looking forward to it, and I saw him fucking slaughter a bunch of goons, I thought this doesn't feel like Batman. This feels like any other generic superhero that kills goons. Things like the Dark Knight trilogy. I know we're talking about the Snyder Cut and that part of the DC cinematic universe, but right away, I just want to say the Dark Knight trilogy was my favorite because it did Batman in a realistic, more human way. It was, and it also focused on Bruce Wayne's how he came into the cowl, also the repercussions of being Batman. Does anyone remember the Dark Knight Returns? There was a little subplot where Bruce Wayne was getting rather violent arthritis, knees, I think it was, the repercussion of being the Batman.
Yeah, we couldn't walk properly.
Yeah.
Oh, Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
I appreciated that because, in superhero films, we always see the power, the speed, the heroism, but we never. Well, sometimes one thing movies make a mistake of is not showing the human aspect of it,
or the person behind the cape or mask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of why people loved the Iron Man films. I mean. Not a lot of people remember Iron Man 2, but I remember when Tony thought he was going to die because of the palladium poisoning. I've always appreciated that, and the build up to making a new element to make his suits and his reactor more efficient. I don't fucking remember the villain's name. Because it was just a villain, generic villain. But I remember the plot about Tony thinking he was going to die.
Yeah, so, those sort of it's kind of like the small stuff that stick out the most. And obviously, like you said with the Dark Knight trilogy, the one where I think it's the second one, the Dark Knight, where obviously the Joker's involved. Obviously, he's a lot more conflicted with being Batman and Bruce Wayne. And that doesn't get shown a lot in novels like The Dark Knight Sorry, not that Batman vs Superman, that sort of thing.
I think took out when I was mid-sentence.
Yeah, obviously Batfleck could have been handled quite a lot better. I think Batman vs Superman, obviously, yeah, I don't reckon he should have killed. I reckon that turned a lot of fans against it. Obviously, he could have just handled it the normal way, just basically putting people to the hospital. And the whole Martha situation was a bit weird.
The thing is with the Martha situation, I'm not trying to like make you understand, but I feel like with the Martha thing, when he had Superman up against the floor and he had the spear, and then he starts screaming out, "Save Martha," which was Superman's mum.
Yeah.
In that time, what was that done?
Why did you say that name?
In that moment where Batman's about to kill Superman, at that point, this is from my understanding as well. At that point, he's then realised, because he's having flashbacks of when he was a kid and his mum and dad got deaded off. That's the moment where he realised he was in the situation where he was the killer, and he was making Superman go through the emotions as he did as a kid.
Yeah.
And like he was repeating history, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I get it. To some people, they didn't understand it, but for me, I did.
Yeah, but that's
and he was kind of like repeating history, sort of thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well. Is I don't know. I do reckon it could have been done a little bit more, not say clearer, but a bit more
Obvious.
I wouldn't say obvious. Obviously, you can have that subtle, but you don't want to be the guy. You fought to,
to destroy.
The people you become the thing that you swore to destroy. But it's kind of like, oh, I saved Martha. Oh, okay, well now we're friends. It was like that.
I get what you mean.
It was a way too quick of a switch.
They could have done it more organically.
Yeah, it was too quick of a switch. And then Wonder Woman just appeared out of nowhere.
She did as well.
It's like, what happened there? The ending of the film to me felt rushed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon even if that film was 20 minutes, half an hour, a bit longer, I wouldn't mind it, definitely.
Have you seen the director's cut?
I don't think I have, actually.
I haven't, but they do go into Batman breaking into LexCorp, I think. I'm not too sure.
I heard about that.
They do explain a couple more things, but
yeah, but
I personally enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, it's a movie that's it's all right. It's not a bad film, but obviously it could have been a hell of a lot better.
I kind of feel uncomfortable with the fact that, like, the way people start enjoying these films is when a director's cut or such is released. Like, I hope that doesn't become a trend, because like seeing how the popularity of Justice League boomed when it was like the Snyder Cut released. I feel like some higher ups might think like, oh, everyone fucking flocked to the cinemas like when we released the cut, so we're gonna release movies with certain things cut out, and then a little while later we're gonna release the full thing.
Yeah,
that's I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah, I understand that. Obviously, you don't want to, pay to see one movie and then go, oh, here's a hell of a lot more you could have seen, but we've decided not to let you see it. And obviously, that's a bit unfair to consumers.
They're kind of doing it the way EA releases games, like releasing a half-assed product and then patching in like paid DLC to make it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what Assassin's Creed does when they add all that fucking DLC for like materials, so to speak.
Yeah, it is an annoying thing.
On the subject of things like DLCs and such, like the moments most people and gamers see the word DLC, season pass, we kind of roll our eyes and say, oh, it's just going to be worth it. But there are some games, like I've noticed, which do DLCs correctly. For example, The Witcher 3 added 2 complete new stories, each with their own new things. and but they didn't take away from the original game. I know you're automatic. This is one of the things I do mention a lot, but because I'm a big fan of the franchise, Monster Hunter World. They released Iceborne, which added basically an entirely new game with new content at the end of it. And are there any other games that you can think of that have done that?
Ark. Ark has a bunch of DLCs, which basically, it was just a new world each time. I mean, yes, it's the same monsters. Maybe you get some different ones, but they always present you with a new map and a new world to explore and to basically take over.
With Ark Survival Evolved, there is one flaw with that, with their releasage. The fact that those games were still in early access when they released paid DLC. That is a bit of a no-no.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. If you're still technically not finished with the game, why should people pay more for more of the game that they're still waiting to play the rest of?
Don't halt development on the main game just to make a DLC to get more money.
Yeah.
Some people, I got it around... I got Ark Survival Evolved around its 4th month of being out. And I fucking love the game. And every month when they release a bit of new news, I was really excited when they released the other dinos, like the Titanosaur, the Allosaurus, Baryonyx, and such. Those were really good. I remember around that period I was in school, and I would check my phone regularly to see if there's been any new news. That's kind of why I loved the game so much. It was that it was looking forward to the content that they were gonna add. But with its first paid DLC, it was a bit disconcerting. Why do I have to pay more money to play a game that I've already paid money for?
Yeah, the thing with DLC is it's become so, normalised that people, although they moan about it, a lot of the time they're still going to pay out for it just obviously to see what it's like, but obviously because they want to add more to that little game that they have already, even though that it's an easy thing that the company making the game could just add to the game anyway.
It's also the mentality of you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, because what is it? It basically all started off with Oblivion, weren't it? With the horse armor. Or was it Skyrim or something like that? I think it was.
It did. It yes and no, but also with Dead Space 3, they released so many paid exclusive items for that game, and it was ridiculous because Dead Space was quite a beloved franchise at that point. But when EA took over, and had more of a hand in it, Visceral Studios basically was being forced to add more pay-to-win aspects, like a weapon that could carry you through the entire game, for example, or skins, or resources. They added mobile resources to a horror game and turned it into a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Bloody heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's become one of the things that companies have now realised that people will, even if not everyone does it, but a lot of people will do it. They're still making profit out of it at the end.
Yeah,
and obviously a lot of, say, still in development games, they're doing it as well, and that's the lot of thing that kills the hype for it. Which I'm hoping the game like Valheim doesn't do. Because Valheim.
I'm a bit worried about Valheim. If I hear me out for a sec. The game is really good, and its popularity boomed when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone kind of get the? Does anyone know the saying of what's it called? Sometimes the
Come on, Daniel, you got
the
this.
bright flame lasts less or something like that. Like it's so popular that it's gonna fizzle out. That's my worry. And you can actually kind of see it in the player numbers that it's starting to dwindle down.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say it's one of those games that you can play for ages, but you don't feel like you need to go back to it after a while, or if you complete the game, it's one of those games you don't feel like you need to worry. Like, you know, it's not an addictive game. I will say that. Like, it's a fun game on the surface, but after a while, it's one of those you know it takes its toll and you can get bored of it. Just think
Resource, which is always.
it's a resource gathering game. And obviously, then you've got to go do stuff that sometimes can take forever to do. Well, I think I spent like an hour trying to find the caves in it.
And fucking cave, honestly.
And that's just an hour. And at that point, I was just completely bored of the game, and I didn't play it for like a week. And
I haven't played it recently for a similar issue. Like I love the building mechanic in that game. It is it's nearly impeccable, but it's exploration. Sometimes the world feels full but lifeless at the same time. Does anyone get that?
No, what do you mean? What do you mean full but lifeless?
Alright, so it's full of things like resources, things to collect, and sometimes you'll see occasional little what are those annoying little tree things called?
Oh yeah, the grey dwarfs or something.
I'll just call them sprites. You see those annoying little sprites, and sometimes those weird fish things near the river. But when you're walking through like a large forest, you only ever encounter those, and it's like, oh, here's one, take care of it. Oh, there's another, take care of it. It's just like it makes killing those little monsters tedious.
Yeah.
Like just another thing. As simple as down the tree.
I guess it does that just to keep it going. I mean, you know, you have to keep worrying about something. You can't move it. I guess if it was just constantly easy, it'd be obviously a lot more boring, a lot faster.
You could.
I took. Sorry, carry on.
So you could compare it to like the forest. Obviously, the forest does this thing where it forces you to fight creatures all the time.
Yeah.
Those creatures after a while. What?
Those things scare me. Like
they do scare me.
When you're in the middle of a forest, chopping down a tree or gathering some rocks or even hunting, you look behind you and you see a fucking human silhouette in the shadows. That makes me shit myself more than like some supposed proper horror games.
Yeah, but
Got a horror game element.
yeah.
Well, apart from what's that horror game?
That's a good. That's a good one, Jackson.
Thanks. Can't remember it. Which I got it on my PlayStation, but I haven't touched it. I literally opened it and then closed it. I think Outlast or.
Oh, Outlast, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that game. I can't do it.
Yeah, I've played that game.
I can't do it. Nope. Nope.
Too scared or too lazy?
Scared.
Honestly, right, it is one of those games where the
I
atmosphere
don't do scary stuff.
The atmosphere is just as scary as the jump scares. Because Outlast is one of the games that puts you in a false sense of security and then punishes you. Jumps at you, punishes you if you're not paying attention, that sort of thing. Yeah, obviously, yeah. The forest is one of those games that can be. It just gets annoying after a while because not only, obviously, with Valheim, you can go home, go to your base, and not have to worry about a lot of things. So every now and again, they'll do like one of those, horde thing attacks. But with the forest, you could be just about starting to build your base, and then you get like those huge 5-armed things come over and destroy everything.
Yeah. Fuck those things, honestly.
Yeah, and then you're always just sitting there going, was this worth it?
At the end of it, no.
With Valheim, going back to Valheim, one game that it could take a bit of inspiration from. And hear me out. Back to Ark Survival Evolved. One of my favorite things with Ark was the fact that it was so full of life. Like you could be taking a walk through the forest gathering resources, and when you look back at a clearing, you could see pterosaurs landing. You could see smaller dinos hunting others, or
a T-Rex just absolutely destroying everything in its path.
yeah. And I think that's one of the things I loved about that game so much was the fact that
There's a lot of
there's life.
movement.
Yeah, there's something to engage in. Like you see a T-Rex, like fucking eating a herd of giant brontosaurs. You can, if you have the weapon, you can engage. You can even tame the fucking T-Rex if you want to.
Yeah, I guess
but with that, whenever I look anywhere, the most I usually see is a bit of animated foliage and one of those little sprite things. And sometimes it can get a bit boring, like having no life, nothing.
I see what you mean from your comment from before. Then, yeah. It's full of life, but then it's dead at the same time. It's
with Valheim, obviously there's no like background interaction with other animals, that sort of thing. Obviously, trolls, I reckon, should be one of those things that like the little people. They should probably interact or try to fight them. I reckon that should be one of those things. So you could join in with the troll or join in with the giant or the little people. And after that, it's a free for all.
I also think maybe a bit more creatures, like they don't even have to be things you have to engage with. Just or like maybe you'll have like a varied resource on it or something. Like imagine there's that dragon boss on Valheim. Like maybe like not like a bunch of clones, but like smaller versions. Like or maybe even like the occasional rare one that travels through a forest. Like it's the kind of thing where if you encounter it, if you wanted to, you could fight it and get a reward.
Yeah.
But it's still something to see or do.
Yeah, but it's one of those games where obviously a lot can happen, but a lot of things cannot happen at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can either find yourself busy or having nothing to do whatsoever whilst trying to find something to do.
I think that's Valheim's biggest flaw, really.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Oh. Early access game there. Hopefully, it takes on these sort of like comments and it improves on what it's already done.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the game itself is still good, especially for how new it is and how much they've added. Like the world itself is huge. Bosses, that sort of thing, they're mental. There is quite a few fun creatures. Obviously, like the fighting aspects can be fun. Building can be fun. I've seen a lot of people build random and big stuff. But yeah, so it's one of those that obviously it's a new game. Obviously, it's got to learn its boundaries before taking those sort of leaps.
It needs to come into its own.
Yeah. Right, shall we move on to the next subject then?
Go for it.
Right.
What you said, next subject.
Joe, have you got anything else? Any new subjects?
Yeah, I got one.
Go on for it.
Back to fighting. So you don't really watch the UFC, do you guys?
No.
Okay, I'll make this one quick. I'll make it quick. UFC 262 is an upcoming event. Cameron, that Khabib retired not too long ago.
Yeah.
We watched that fight. Michael Chandler just came into the UFC. This is literally his second fight in the company, and he's fighting Charles Oliveira for the title fight.
Jesus.
So they're going to come into they're going to have a fight for the lightweight championship, which is going to be a good fight. I'm actually really excited for it. And on that same card, yeah, it's going to be Leon Edwards against Nate Diaz, which is going to be the first ever 5-round event that isn't a championship fight, which is going to be really interesting. Nate Diaz hasn't fought in a very long time since the Masvidal fight, which was maybe 2-3 years ago now. I'm not too sure. But Leon Edwards, in his last fight with Bilal Muhammad, looked really good. Even though it ended in an eye poke situation, he looks really good. Like seriously, like amazing. So Nate Diaz is going to make his return for that fight. And with staying on the fighting subject, what do you guys think about the YouTubers versus TikToks events? Or TikTokers event?
What do you mean? What's happening there? I haven't even heard of that.
You don't know about the YouTubers versus TikTokers?
No.
I've heard of it and I have an opinion.
Speak your opinion.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just,
Why?
alright, in my personal opinion, it's just another one of those kind of things that because like they're not getting as many numbers on their videos or not as popular as when they first started, so they need something to kind of entice the fans into or enticing new fans and stuff and such. And it's just I've always seen them as kind of tedious. What's it called? I can't remember what the term is. Not popularity. I don't remember the term for it. It's just one of those things to for a quick boom of attention.
Oh,
That's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is to me. Like that's how I see it anyway.
Irrelevance.
Yeah. The whole.
Almost.
I see it as like a little cash grab on basically the
Yeah.
like the fighting side of it. Like the companies have done that. They've seen that KSI Logan could be a success. Jake Paul Gibb was big until it was over in 5 seconds. But obviously certain fighting places have now seen that YouTubers can fight, that sort of thing, and they've gone, what's popular? TikTok. Is there beef between TikTok and YouTubers? Not really.
Let's make it.
Should we make it? Let's do it anyway. And then I see it more as they're grasping at straws when it comes to the US, like the YouTubers versus TikTokers. Personally, the only one I really care about is Deji, so I want to see how he goes.
Yeah.
Because I want to see like a redemption mark when he fights Jake Paul again.
Danny Duncan's on the card though.
Yeah, for some reason.
I think it would just be funny to see him. He was probably gonna fucking do a takedown or do a head kick or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, it's just one of these ones where they've seen a bit of a hype between these internet stars. Let's try and go on. Let's get these YouTubers and TikTokers and throw it in and then make regular people who don't give two craps about boxing fight. Not realising it's the wrong people. The reason KSI and Logan Paul done so well because they're two of the biggest in their country going at it with real beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fun part about Logan Paul versus KSI was the beef between it. Obviously, their interviews was funny as hell because over in
Jamie didn't like each other.
Yeah, because over in they've pushing each other, shouting at each other. KSI going over there with like a dog that Logan recently had basically killed. Well, no, he didn't kill it, but it died. So he went over there stroking basically the exact same breed.
Coyote.
Pardon?
Didn't he get eaten by a coyote?
Yeah. That's where he done that literally I think it was like a week after they had the thingy, the press conference. Yeah, KSI done that as the joke. And obviously that's compared to what normal fighters do, it sells itself. But obviously you got these TikTokers, who are going on there fucking TikTok going, "Hey guys, I'm gonna fight this guy soon," haha, and doing a little gay dance, and then a YouTuber who knows how to sell it, doing.
They jump on it.
Yeah. Obviously, they're gonna want that little bit of hype and that bit of money, and it gives them a little bit more of a boost. Yeah, viewage wise and subscriber that sort of wise. TikTok is the same, but it's one of those things that it's gonna boom, die, and no one cares about.
People are going to talk for it for exactly 2-3 days, and then no one cares.
Yeah,
and then they'll go back to just trying to pander to morons by making quick 30-second videos trying to be funny.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole fighting side of it is not. It's just they've picked names out of the hat and gone, "Used to a fighting," or they've looked at what somewhat little beef there is, and said, "Yeah, fight it out," and they've gone, "Yeah, why don't we fight it out? Us very non-violent looking people who dance around the room pretending to act to people who have a goldfish memory."
I couldn't have put it better myself.
It is. This is the thing about it. They're just going to be. The thing as well, most of you want something like TikTok and YouTube by young kids. And I think these are the type of people that they're trying to sell a boxing match to. What 10-year-old do you know can purchase the rights to fight? Like to watch it live?
Depends on how sneaky they are to steal their mum's credit card.
Exactly, and then have to watch it like midnight because that's when they're boxing out.
At the end of the day, you're promoting theft. You've got to steal my mum and shit.
Yeah, TikTokers are promoting theft.
At the end of the day, they're just all in all wrong.
Yeah. So this trying to compare this to like the other YouTuber fights. There was beef between all this sort of stuff. The whole Gib versus Jake was that if Gib beats Jake can't fight KSI, which they had beef with. Gib obviously was giving it a lot to Jake. Jake saw it as a stepping stone. KSI was, involved in all of it. Obviously, a lot of, I say, the main YouTube, that UK sort of section is more teenagers to adults, or young adults, should I say? Obviously, nowadays they're a bit more mature, wise content. Where I feel like, obviously, if you looked at the fan wise with KSI versus Logan Paul, even in America, KSI had about the same amount of fans. If you saw the press conference in America, whereas when you go
KSI did or still does have one advantage over Jake Paul. Not only did KSI or multiple advantages, sorry. Not only did he amass his fan base over years and years, because he's been on YouTube for quite a while, but Jake Paul mainly migrated to YouTube when not TikTok, what's it called? Vine.
Yeah, it's fine.
So KSI had a quite a loyal fan base over years of providing content to them on YouTube. And Logan Paul is a fan who randomly went on YouTube because his main way of putting out content shut down, and the way he put out content was quick 30-second videos.
Yeah, he went from 30 seconds to 30 minutes, and it was just basically the same thing all over again.
Well, no,
It's not really a 30-minute video, it's more of a 2-minute video and extending out into half an hour. It's just bullshit.
Yeah. The thing is, as well, is I feel like obviously KSI, he was this young teenage kid who screamed a lot, and that's how he attracted his viewers back in the day. But nowadays he still does that, but he doesn't do it a hell of a lot as he used to. And I feel
he still is himself.
Yeah, I feel like he's matured just like his fan base.
Yeah,
Compared-
they've kind of grown alongside each other.
Yeah, because it's you sit there and go, oh, I watched the Sidemen video, and no one's gonna bat an eye because it's like, oh, they do like football, that sort of things, which is like a normal conversation to anyone. Like, but when you compare it to Jake Paul, hey, what did Jake Paul do? He filled his,
kids.
he terrorized his neighborhood.
He got banned from Japan because he went into the suicide forest and posted.
Right. Fucking hell, that fucking whole scene, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Logan. Yeah.
I can't believe one.
Jesus. Why would you even do that? I don't understand. Why? It's really confusing
He probably
times.
did it at the moment. People around him thought, yeah, this is well good content, will bang bare views.
Well,
Don't get me wrong, they got a bunch of attention, but it wasn't the attention they
no, I
wanted.
think at the time, I think
Right, it attracted the wrong attention and got them fucked.
yeah, because at
Yeah.
the time it was, do you know Joe Weller, who cares I really
Yeah.
before he was
Yeah.
he was doing like the haunted house type of thing, and they blew up. Like compared to
Oh,
like
yeah.
normal million or so views, he was getting like 5 or 6 million, and obviously other YouTubers started jumping on the bandwagon with it. So obviously, what do? You go to one of the most craziest places in the world where people just go and commit suicide. And obviously, that attracts people like viewers. When you go to the suicide thing, wow, they're going to a suicide forest, and then obviously one poor time joke
Yeah.
kind of killed that whole train. Because like I used to watch those sort of videos. I thought they were funny, because especially ones where they try. So I know Joe Weller, he tried to prove that ghosts were real,
Mm.
and obviously a lot of the time it didn't work. And it was funny because he was trying to fuck around whilst being serious at the same time. And obviously other ones.
Has anyone, speaking of like failure to prove something, has anyone seen the videos of flat earthers accidentally proving that the Earth is round?
Oh, yeah. I like the one that posts to flat earthers have members all around the globe, and it's like,
Yeah,
going
read that
Love
paper
that.
slowly.
around the world. It's like, well, you mind just saying that again?
Say it again, but slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, yeah, going to the original thing, it's one of those. Obviously, I feel like the UK scene, it's the mature audience do go towards like this, like that Sidemen type of vibe area. The Sidemen themselves, and you got like the few outsiders like the Canucks guys. Obviously, you got like the Gib and that sort of stuff. And obviously, with America, it's a lot of the YouTubers are mainly prioritised to kids, even if they don't want to be.
Mm.
And I feel like, how do you build support for a fight when most of the people you're trying to build support for a fight for are 10-year-olds? And you can't build hype like that. Obviously, they can go to Twitter or Instagram or whatever and be like, oh, this fight. But then when the numbers come in at the fight, buy records and all that sort of thing, views, you're not going to get as much because you have to be 18 to watch the fight, because you need to pay to get it. If you can't buy it, you can't watch it unless you do it illegally, which obviously they don't count that as people watching it.
Mm.
So with the KSI sort of fight, there was a lot more hype because old fans and new fans were kind of backing it all up. And obviously Logan had gone through the whole suicide forest thing and hated him for that, so people kind of wanted to see Logan get beaten up, same as the people that hate KSI and want to see KSI get beaten up. But a lot of these TikTokers, these TikTokers and YouTubers you want to beat up, you don't actually care about.
There's no meat to the fight, they just fight them because they can.
Yeah, they've just gone, here's the sort of thing you're going to do. It's a fight. It will attract some sort of viewage. Just do it. And then they're going, yeah. Obviously, it's not promoted well either. I don't feel like. I've only seen like a little bit every now and again come up like, oh, here's who's fighting. It's like I read the names and I literally read like 2 of the names and go, I have no idea who the rest of these people are. I've never heard any of these people. So yeah, the YouTuber versus TikToker battle.
But are they making money out of this at all?
Yeah, of course they are.
Probably, yeah. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Oh yeah, they're getting paid. They're getting paid for sure.
You really think they're going there to probably get
Paid by fucking who?
You really think they're going to go there to get punched and not get paid? They know what they're doing.
That's fucking crap, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think what they do is they go, here's, look, we want you to fight, here's this amount of money,
Yeah.
turn up and fight. That's how they do it now. That's how they do it now.
Do we know if it's with headgear or not?
Then afterwards, they still get more. They get more money, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know if it's headgear or not. But yeah, no, I don't think they get, no, I think they go, here's what you get and this is all you get. But
Yeah, here's a part of it now. You just got to turn up.
No,
If you don't turn up, you give us the money, man.
yeah, I think, yeah, obviously, it's like, as soon as you do the fight, we give you this amount of money.
Yeah.
As soon as
You might get pay-per-view buys as well. I'm not too sure.
I don't think they do it like, I don't know if they're doing it like that. So I don't know if it's bought out by a certain company like the second KSI vs Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
Because I doubt they're going to do like pay-per-view buys because of how many fights there are.
Yeah.
Obviously the pay-per-view is, here's a headline and act fight and here's what follows. Well, comes before. Obviously people come to watch the 2 big fighters. But with the TikToker fight, you haven't really got a standout fight. So obviously I reckon they've just gone, here's this 7,000 or whatever, turn up, fight, and then be on your way. Because I don't see them trying to, say, will you take like 1% of the pay-per-view, that sort of thing. I don't see that ever happening with this sort of fight, like these sort of contenders. Because I reckon if they try and did that, obviously each person's gonna be like, well, I have more following this, that, or I deserve more, that sort of thing. I should have more percentage-wise, blah blah blah, that no one really cares about because these are people that no one cares about. So it's gonna be one of those things. I reckon the fights are all gonna happen. People are gonna watch the highlights and go, oh, that person won, this person won. Okay, that's done. On to the real beef.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I see the YouTuber versus TikToker, the hype fight thing going.
I just see it as a way to make money.
Yeah.
Get clout.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's people. Jackson, did you just follow me?
Probably.
I was saying
I
you
hope I
did.
did.
I was like, that's a very similar name to the one you've got. Here you are, 21 followers. Big up. Anyway.
21?
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So it's just a hype train to get more money and a bit of recognition. So you can best describe it. Right. Anyone else got any conversations you want to talk about?
I can't think of any now.
No, Dan.
Nothing to think of right now.
Unless you want to talk about Forest 2.
I have no.
I haven't.
I don't know. God, it's one of those games that you don't. I don't think.
We don't know too much about it.
Yeah, we don't know anything about, do we? We've just seen a trailer.
Has there anything? Anything been said of the Forest 2 or not?
There's no trailer.
Yeah, they released a trailer, didn't they?
Oh.
It looks alright, but
What, Son
obviously.
of the Forest?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those games that you could. You can make look good, but obviously the Forest game itself, it's fun for a while. till you see all the flaws and how repetitive the game can get quite quickly. So yeah, I wouldn't really want to stress about the second game just yet until they release more about it.
Yeah, surfing, no?
Well, it's pretty creepy, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it probably will be, hopefully.
Yeah, the characters look pretty good too. Just like the designs.
True. Oh damn, it looks so well done. What the fuck?
What are you just searching up?
Yeah, I was gonna the trailer now. Oh damn! Oh, what the fuck?
Oh damn. So yeah, we'll wait for Jackson to finish the trailer.
No, I can continue. I'm just looking through it.
Yeah, so it's one of those games that I don't want to say too much about because I don't know anything about it. Yeah, don't want to say, oh, this game looks good, but then
same with Dying Light 2.
Damn, stop
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I really won't play that, but let's hope it doesn't get stuck in development hell.
Yeah.
I mean, don't all games get stuck in development at some point?
No development hell.
Oh,
When a
development.
game just doesn't ever leave development and then gets released.
Oh, okay.
You know what happened to Cyberpunk?
Wait, wasn't it supposed to... Oh, yeah, fucking Cyberpunk, Jesus Christ. Have they done anything with that Cyberpunk recently?
Yeah, they fixed it, didn't they?
I think they updated it.
They fixed it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's 100% done, or whatever, or not 100%, but they apparently fixed the game. But it's dead now because obviously
they released it and it died as soon as it came out because it was just no one could play it.
Yeah, it was one of those games that if they spent 4 more months doing like they've done there, obviously people would have been not wanting to play it because it's taken so long.
Yeah.
Which the reason they delayed it for a bit longer to release it was because it wasn't ready. They released it unready. As we see what happened, now apparently it's supposed to be, good as gold now. Apparently it's supposed to work fully and all that sort of stuff.
Good as gold. I doubt it's good as gold.
From what I've heard, it's fixed.
I played it at launch.
How was that?
It was buggy.
Buggy and shit.
I was just sitting there. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah.
I didn't get anything, and I was like, "I got an email, and it said because they did the refund thing, didn't they?"
Yeah.
And I got an email from Microsoft saying if you've played below like 20 hours, 40 hours, something like that, we'll give you a refund, and I did exactly that. I might buy it in the future, but for now I'm not really thinking about it at all.
Yeah, from what I've heard now, it's fixed. That's the words I've heard.
Yeah, to the point where it's not crashing bad.
Yeah, so basically it's playable without a lot of the breakable, like a lot of the crashes that ruin immersion, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I had some weird glitches in my playthrough, and I probably played for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might visit down the road. Not too sure.
I just had a look online and they're saying they're trying. Well, I don't know when this is updated, but they were going to give a refund to anyone who bought Cyberpunk on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, that was when they
they've removed it. Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, basically when the game first released, after like a week, everyone wanted refunds.
Yeah,
of course.
Because it was missold a dream, and it's like, yeah, you should have kind of expected that. They kind of said it wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Players go, I want this game. Developers go, it's not ready. Players go, I don't care, I want to play the game. Developers are alright, cool, but it's going to be fucked. Players play the game. Players, this game's fucked. Yeah, we told you. They told us.
They told us, and they did warn us, and then we didn't listen, and now we've killed the game.
With Dying Light 2, they're not releasing it because they're still trying to fix a lot of shit. That's why it's been delayed.
Yeah.
So hopefully that game, knock on wood, it doesn't come out as bad as Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Welcome back, Daniel.
I'm excited for Dying Light 2.
I'm back.
Yeah. Oh,
What did I mean?
we're talking about Cyberpunk.
Oh. Well, I played it, so if you have any questions, ask.
What do you think? What's your view on it?
It's alright.
It's alright.
Now, the reason why I don't think it's fantastic or amazing is because, well, it has a lot of performance issues.
Much like Jackson.
Like,
What? Keep going.
Alright.
What you said?
You at the back?
It said much like Jackson.
Oh,
Keep going.
a violation that.
Keep going.
well, with frequent performance issues regarding, like, frame rate, sometimes, like, even crashing with like, no lag beforehand. For example, like, I could be in the middle of a mission, it's going smoothly, I'll finish up, just looting the area, and then crash. When I reload, I have to restart the entire file.
Yes.
I've had things like that. I've like the game, like regarding things like story's alright. Like I'm enjoying it. You know, in every game, there's a bit where like then like you do something and then you see the main title, like the game's kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me 8 hours to get to the title drop.
Jesus.
Because genuinely, the game is huge. Like just the first region, because in the beginning, like the rest of the map is locked off, and you're in like a fairly large area to piss around and do quests and stories and such. After a certain mission, you do like if you grind out on the main story, like then you'd probably reach it sooner. But you like it generally took me many hours to reach there because I was enjoying running around doing quests, like getting upgrades and such. Like genuinely, the game is quite fun in those regards. It's the performance issues that are the biggest issues for me.
Yeah, we were just saying that apparently they've fixed quite a few of the issues in the last basically like 4 months of the release. Have you played it recently?
Yes, I have. Funnily enough, like I haven't played the most recent like patch, but funny enough, when I first started playing, it was like before the first patch came in to fix the performance issues, and it ran all right. Like I crashed about 4 times in 10 hours. Like not fantastic, also not terrible. Really, lag was the biggest issue at that time. But when I played it recently, so I took a big break because the performance issues were getting too much. When I came back, the lag was more frequent, but I haven't crashed once. There was also sometimes minor bugs, like there was one guy moonwalking in midair. That was hilarious and terrifying to see. And also during a really important story event, actually the story event that happened before the title drop, there was supposed to be like I won't go into it for spoilers, but there was supposed to be quite an emotional, compelling moment. But character model was in the wrong one. And then after the cutscene, and it went after the gameplay section, he suddenly re-rendered into what he was supposed to be, completely taking me out of the moment.
Jesus.
It was funny, but also like for my first ever playthrough and the first time I ever saw that, because I'm going into it spoiler free. I still don't know what happens after that point. It took me out of the moment.
Yeah, it's just saying you don't want to, to ruin the game. It ruins the game for you, basically.
Yeah, it takes me at the moment, and kind of like devalues a moment that's supposed to be quite compelling, like supposed to pull on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the upgrade system is quite fun. Like, I reset my original file from when I first got the game, so I'm playing through it again. But before I reset, I got upgrades. Like, I could, like, I upgraded my jump. Like, there's two different jump upgrades. There's a double jump, and then there's a charge jump. The charge jump will send you fucking flying, and it is amazing. The double jump is like in most platforming games, you jump and jump again, and you can reach higher places.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the charge jump is immensely fun. The upgradable arm weapons you can get mantis blades, which are like really good for stealth. But my personal preference is the hand cannon. Like when you hold down the grenade button, instead of throwing a grenade, you actually like your arm opens up and shows a cannon, and it's nearly an insta kill for anything. And I had so much fun running about a like a gang territory, basically being like a Terminator, like blasting people. It is immensely fun in that regard.
Going in Iron Man style.
Yeah, it genuinely, like, it gives you the feel of becoming like an invincible cyborg, like the Terminator from the original films, or as you said, Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So so it's one of those games that apparently now is playable, that sort of thing. It's fixed, apparently, from what I've heard.
It's not fixed. It is nowhere near fixed.
How recently did you play it?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Right, okay. Well, I'll take your word, because obviously, out of all of us here, I think you're the only one who's played it. The biggest gripe I have is the performance issues. But like some of the things people said, like when it first released, that it wouldn't even run on the PlayStation 4. It does run, but sometimes the frames can get choppy in places, and like for example, in crowded areas, like that will give me a bit of a lag attack. But it never crashes when you try to start it up. That's the saving grace. Yeah.
You can play the game. You just gotta like roll with the punches until they're properly ironed out.
Yeah, I reckon it's gonna take a while now to fix what little bugs there are. And I reckon with the console versions, I don't reckon there's much saving them because of the limitations they've got. I feel like with the PC, they can just do whatever, and that's based on the user's computer.
Yeah.
But with a PlayStation or Xbox, they've got what they've got, and they have to work with that. And if you know, they more think, oh, this can work on the PC, but then try and put that on a Xbox or a PlayStation, they're not going to get the same thing, and they're going to have to chip and chop things, and things that can make the game more fun or that sort of thing. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's one of those games that could have been saved if they just delayed announcements, that sort of thing. I reckon if they left it for this year, it probably would have saved it.
I think about 6 more months of polishing, just constant polishing, would have like made it review better. But as it already got delayed, I think the fan base, like, I think they kind of released it because they were kind of pressured.
Yeah.
Into, like, people were cancelling pre-orders and getting upset because like they wanted their game, and I think they were kind of peer pressured into releasing it early. And well, we got what we got.
Yeah, we got what we asked for. Yeah, it's one of those. The crowd asked, they received. Didn't like what they received.
And they complained. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Right. I'm going to do something that I want to do. Right? You ready?
No.
Jackson, you ready? He's muted.
He's fucked up.
I can see it. He's muted.
Jackson, mate.
Typical Jackson.
Apologise. Not feeling the best at the moment.
It's alright.
Okay.
All you got to do is sit there in a chair.
Yeah.
Or on a bed, no, whatever you're doing. Right, so here's what I want to do, right? I'm gonna try and do this every week, or whenever we do the podcast.
Yeah.
Gonna basically talk about, right, something either A, supernatural, or B, about like a murder or something. Right?
What, as the main topic, or what?
Yeah, as in this is the topic I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, that's what you're going to talk about.
Yeah. So obviously I'm gonna bring this up, give a bit of information, and obviously you have a bit of feedback, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to give feedback on your supernatural
Well,
or murder.
obviously we'll just talk about.
What's supernatural?
He's hungry. Alright, so everyone ready
Yeah.
for this?
I am confusion.
Dan, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. So has anyone heard of a man called Edward Theodore Gain? Or Geen, sorry, Geen.
Ed Gein, yeah.
No.
Right, so
Edward Theodore?
Edward Theodore Gain, or you just Ed Gein, as he's better known as.
I haven't.
I've always
no.
known him as Gein. Yeah.
Yeah, Geen. Yeah.
He was one of the inspirations behind the Leatherface character in the movies.
Texas Chainsaw, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the man behind the literal mask, basically. So this man, full name Edward Theodore Gain.
Gein.
We'll go Gain. Thanks, Dan. He's born in August 27th, 1906. And he's the real inspiration behind the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. The main villain. He's an American convicted murderer and body snatcher.
Okay.
This man, the main resources of money he used to get was basically doing handyman work, basically like working on farm, building stuff, and he got a lot of money selling a bit of property that his brother used to own. Okay, I think it was like 80 acre of farm or land.
Where is this going?
I'm just telling you a story.
Alright, sorry, go ahead.
This is a story, okay? So we're talking about this, okay? Alright, so between 1940s, 50s, he sold this 80 acre of land that his brother used to own after his brother mysteriously died.
Seriously.
AKA, if the police done more work, they would have figured out that Edward killed his own brother.
Well, that was a bit obvious, yeah.
Yeah. But the reason they didn't find it out is because there was a recent fire on the farm that they all lived in, and he died to asphyxiation. Which, obviously, from the fire, it looks like he just died of choking. But, yeah, with enough... If the police done enough research, they would have figured out that he had been hit around the back of the head with something and basically killed. Alright, here's a bit of backstory on the man himself. His mother, Augusta, basically his family moved to... I can't remember the name of the place, I should have researched that, I'm an idiot. Somewhere in Wisconsin. But his mother was a crazy lady, basically we could say.
Fanatic religion.
She was a very Bible focused woman. She took full advantage of where the farm was, which was isolated towards the town they were in. And whenever her sons, she had two sons, so whenever any of them would bring in like a kid to come, from school to come play with. She'd tell the kids, go home, go away, and lock her children in the house. So Edward was only allowed to leave the farm to go to school when he was a child. So
only for that.
what?
Only for that. Okay.
Yep. So Augusta, his mother, she used to preach to both her sons about the innate immortality of the world. Basically, the evil drinking and the fact that she believed that all women, except herself, of course, were naturally promiscuous and instruments of the devil. Basically saying every woman is a slag and you should not trust them. She
ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Basically. She reserved time every afternoon to read them from the Bible, usually selecting certain verses from the Old Testament and Book of Revelation, mainly concerning the things of like death and murder and divine retribution. So you can see where these kids were, being led. Apparently, back when classmates and teachers remembered him as a child having strange mannerisms, such as seemingly randomly laughing at himself, as if he'd tell himself is like a joke, or he said a joke and he would just burst out laughing out of nowhere. And to make things worse, his mother would punish him whenever he tried to make friends at all.
Right.
So you know this man as the type of Leatherface type. He'd wear people's skin. The thing was, he was the town's babysitter.
Jesus fuck nuts. Okay.
Right, yeah, right. So people would physically sit there and go, yeah, he's a bit of a weird guy. Brought up on a farm, it was a bit weird, but they fully trusted him with their children. 100%. He was the guy the town went to for babysitting. And he would take these kids, even after he'd basically taken people's bodies apart and started making skin heads and sofas out of skin. A lot of the kids would go back and tell their parents about shrunken heads and creepy skin masks around his house. But obviously, parents didn't believe their kids because they thought the kids were just messing around and being little annoying little rats and trying to make jokes up and that sort of stuff. So from day one, the kids were trying to rat him out, but parents were like, stop being silly. There's no way a man would have shrunken heads and people's skin everywhere.
I've got a list of everything that was found in his house when he was arrested, actually. Do you want to hear it?
I'm getting to that, actually. I have got that part. I will let you read that, because there's a list of my thing. So his mother, obviously, he was obsessed with his mother. To anyone else, his mother was the God's gift. If anyone said anything bad about her, he was angry, like that sort of thing. Hence why he killed his brother, because his brother was like, hey, my brother's a bit obsessed with mummy, and mummy's a bit mad. He heard this at one point, and then killed his brother and sold his land. So with his mother, she had some health problems where she became bedridden, and then after suffering one final stroke, she passed away. And when she did, he became even more obsessed with her.
Oh no.
Yeah. So things like, obviously, she was buried, that sort of thing. He didn't use her skin, that sort of thing.
I was about to say.
He had limits. It was just his mother. He had
limits.
Yeah.
He had limits.
So he would. So while she passed away, after she passed away, he wouldn't maintain his house to keep it tidy, that sort of thing. So what he'd done was every room basically off limits, covered that thing. But his mother room he would keep clean and in pristine condition, so it looked like So it was basically the way she, like the same room where she died. So nothing was touched, everything was clean, that sort of thing. And that's when they believed he snapped and went fully killer or gravedigger. By the way, he was only convicted of 2 murders. Fun fact.
Yeah.
So he was robbing graves within the 40s and 50s period, where to points where he would physically wait to finish like the funeral where the person had been buried, and as soon as everyone walked away, he would go up to the grave and dig it up. Just as soon as everyone left.
The main target of his was women.
Yeah. Women. Yeah, so I'll get to that bit as well, thanks Neil. He would pleasure himself with the bodies before, in quotation marks, getting to work with them.
Getting... What, as in... What? Dressing... What?
As in he would have sex or do sexual things with the bodies, and then say he needed a new pair of leggings, he would then take the body back to his house, take what he wants or needed, so say it was just like leg skin, he'd take the leg skin off and he would take that body back to the grave and then basically bury it again. Or if he needed the whole thing, if he needed the whole thing, take the whole body, slice it, skin off, and use it like that. So when he was caught, he told investigators that between 1947 and 52, he made as many as 40 visits to 3 local graveyards to basically pick up dead bodies while he was in a, quotation mark, daze-like state. So he would basically apparently go over there, and as soon as he went through the graveyard, he would black out, and then as he left, he'd had the bodies.
As if. Okay.
Yeah. So on about 30 of those visits, he said he came out the days while in the cemetery, left the grave in good order, and returned home empty-handed. On other occasions, he dug up the graves of the recently buried middle-aged women that he thought resembled his mother, and took the bodies home, where he then tanned their skin and made his paraphernalia, as they would be called. And a lot of the stuff he made, Dan, since you had the list.
Yep.
Read him out.
Alright. While searching the house, the authorities found whole human bones and fragments, a waste bucket made of human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on his bedpost, female skulls with the top sawn off, bowls made from human skulls, a corset made from a female torso skinned from shoulder to waist, leggings made of human leg skin, masks made of the skin of female heads, Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag, Mary Hogan's skull in a box, Bernice Warden's entire head in a burlap sack, Bernice Warden's heart in a plastic bag in front of Guy's pot-belly stove. A pot-belly stove is a type of cast iron, coal-burning or wood-burning stove.
Yeah.
9 vulvae in a shoebox. And, well, you don't need a biology lesson to know what that is. A young girl's dress and the vulvas of 2 females, judged to be about 15 years old. A belt made of female human nipples. 4 noses. A pair of lips on a window shade drawstring. A lampshade made of made from the skin of a human face. Fingernails from human fingers, and that's about it.
Lovely.
Yeah, so this is so that wastebasket that Dan said right at the beginning, that was his last murder. And when I say his last murder, his second convicted murder, and the reason he got caught. So the woman that he murdered, I don't have a name, but what he done, he went in to pick up some cleaning products obviously you know what for, to a shop where he bought the thing, killed the woman, and literally dragged her body all the way to his house, where he then left a trail of blood all the way back to his home. So when police searched the area, obviously they had a literal blood trail to follow. And obviously they found everything in that house, or the nail stuff, the noses, the belt. When questioned, all they had to do was basically show him the pictures of what he'd done, and he folded. He told them everything. He showed them where all the bodies were that he dug up. Obviously they then had to search. It was all true, because they thought he'd basically been going around murdering all these people instead. So they thought they had a mass murderer. Instead, they had a necrophiliac man going around digging up bodies. He would then tell police that he would like... This is what he'd done during night times and just in his spare time, okay? So he dressed up in like the corset made of the female torso skin, leggings, like the human leggings, the mask, which is made of a female heads, and the nipple belt. He would wear all that whilst having a woman's vagina, basically, over his male junk, and he would go outside and just prance around and dance and that sort of thing. And that was the tale of Edward Theodore Gunn.
Man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So yeah, this is one of many people that the authorities have caught and told the public about. So what did you think?
I'm just confused.
I didn't know you were into this kind of stuff, Cameron.
Do you know what? I really am.
Oh shit. Okay, Cam, something you want to tell us?
Do you know
So
what?
you're into wearing women's vaginas?
No,
and
I'm not
groins?
into that. I'm not into that. No. I'm just saying.
I think he's into hearing about them.
I find it kind of interesting because you have to hear the psychological part of it that they go through to want to do this sort of thing. Now, obviously, to us, that's crazy. Like, why would you ever think to go dig up a body and make nipple belt? Would that ever cross your mind?
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. So obviously you got people like this. There are just mass murderers out there just go around killing people. There are people that have never been caught. So obviously this is the man that inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, Leatherface.
Damn.
Yeah.
He inspired all those? Nice.
Yeah, he's also inspired what's his name? Norman Bates for the Psycho films.
Mm. So, telling me he's more of an inspiration.
Yeah, obviously they've not recreated it, but
He's
fully.
His horrific acts have inspired very well-known horror movies and
Yeah.
such.
Yeah. So yeah, crazy man like that lived in the world at one point. Some men still do, or women.
True.
Jackson.
Fuck me.
Psychos are gender neutral.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Gender neutral.
What, gender neutral or psycho?
Both.
Right. Okay.
That
Kill
laugh
him.
didn't sound very non-crazy.
Yeah. He's not even answering now.
No, I'm not going to answer.
He's writing his list.
Write a list of what he's going to do to you. What body parts he's going to cut off.
Indeed.
So yeah, that was a.
Careful, Joe, you could turn into a belt.
Hey, you can have a nipple belt. Did you want a lamp made of Joe's face?
No.
No, don't want to see Joe. Yeah, so yeah, he was the type of man to isolate himself, and then at the night time when everyone was asleep, go around grave robbing. Obviously, that was the
Fair enough.
1940s and 50s, and that's just one of many.
What a polite young man.
Oh, very polite young man. I said this was also the same man that people left their kids to babysit.
Can you imagine finding that out after?
Could you imagine?
After you...
Your kids
Yeah,
gone,
probably.
Mummy, Daddy, this man has nipple belts and farts made of women. Yeah, Timmy, whatever, you're just crazy. By the way, the man you
That's
wanted
not do your homework.
That's no way of talking to someone that looks after you while I
Yeah.
can't.
He's a very nice man, I swear. Mummy, Daddy, no, seriously, he's got like 15 bodies in his ass. No.
I saw him beating his meat to a lampshade.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the news goes, oh, by the way, this man had been going around digging up dead bodies and skinning them alive.
I've got my
Skinning
time.
dead bodies alive. Rephrase.
Oh, you're not alive. He had some decency for them to be dead, I guess. Yeah, so that's
Well, I'll be sleeping safely tonight, thank you.
he's not even the worst, to be fair.
Huh?
He's probably not even the worst.
I don't think I want to hear the worst.
You ever heard of Dr. Death?
No, don't want to.
I'll
You
give
talking
you
about
what?
H.H. Holmes?
Oh yeah, HHH, the first serial killer, or first. No,
Recorded.
well, recorded serial killer.
Yeah, play to him, setting trends.
He was basically, even though people like Jack the Ripper, then went ape and became more famous. Yeah, there's a lot of more, say, famous psychopaths. Just a nice way to put it. Yeah, so that's Edward Gein, or Gein, Gun. Gene. Gene Gun again. So you enjoyed that then, yeah?
Yeah,
No.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
Not really, it just happened out of fucking nowhere.
I'm going to be doing this every time now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you nightmares every night.
I'm just gonna leave before you get into it.
Like this week on...
I'll just do a Jackson and leave halfway.
That's very nice.
No, it wasn't nice.
No.
Was it nice?
Was it
You
nice?
leaving?
You leaving halfway
Me-
through.
Me leaving. But me
Yep.
leaving what?
Indeed.
Well, I'm sorry. I had to-
You fucking should be.
Take it. I'm sorry.
Well, you should go fuck off, Jen.
Why don't you just leave? Then you can't say anything. Yeah, so anyone add any input?
Yeah, Jackson's a little bitch.
Says you, bitch ass.
Lovely. Alright, so I think that's we'll wrap it up there today then. It's been about 2.5 hours of streaming.
Get in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go eat finally because when I woke up, I went to my computer and fucking wait, when it's streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you, Daniel, Joe and Jackson for joining the Insert Name podcast.
You are very welcome, Jamie. Yes.
So I've enjoyed this conversation with you lads. Hope you didn't get nightmares tonight. Thank everyone who came to the podcast today to watch. And yeah, I hope you all have a good time when you go do whatever. Hopefully COVID fixes itself, America fixes itself, China fixes itself, Britain fixes itself.
And Ben Askren knocks out Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Whey! Curtain!
125 quid on my belt. Whey!
Right, so thanks everyone. See you whenever.